The one where Mama Troll does the laundry for the king. It became uncomfortable for the trolls in the big forest. People annoyed them more and more. When Papa Troll was young, there was not a single human habitation for 7 miles around, and now one house after another grew up on the edge of the forest. The new settlers tirelessly cut down the forest and cleared the land for arable land. People became completely emboldened and come closer and closer for the trolls' possessions. The sound of the eggs, the smoke of the coal pits, the smell of roast pork and coffee angered Papa Troll to the point of pain in the liver. True, the troll mom thought to herself that it didn't smell bad at all, but even after the troll dad talked about the smell, she explained indignantly, "Tvivale." But in the dark, she often crept up to the houses to breathe in the delicious smell and look through the small windows what people were doing there. Besides, it's hungry time for the trolls. In the good old days, there were countless wolves, bears, and foxes in the forest, and in Troll Mountain every day they were treated to a ham made of bear meat. Oh my god! Cutlets made of wolf meat, soup made of foxtails. Now the animals in the forest have grown up. Cunning people set traps and traps. I think grown up in that translation means that animals got smarter or something like that. Cunning people set traps, and when the troll mom the other day crept up to the nearest sheepfold to see if it was possible to stock up on something for breakfast, she herself got stuck in a trap that people call fox scissors and almost lost her tail. It's no wonder that the animals moved away from here. Who will like this? If people didn't have dogs, then it would still be possible to tolerate, because the troll dad could easily get close to delicious sheep. And try to get close here when the contemptuous dog bark, growl, grab your heels and bite your tail. No, this could not be tolerated in any way. And the trolls slowly began to move north. In the end, only the troll dad, with his old woman and son, remained in great grief. And they did not leave just because dad hurt his back badly. Like, can't he really stay in his own mountain, where his family has lived for 3,000 years? As soon as his old woman started talking about it being time to leave, he was so furious, even sparks flew from his wool. Over the years, the troll became angrier and more stubborn. In the end, he did not leave the mountain at all, and the old woman and the boy had to get food themselves, or wherever they had to. So, Papa Troll is stubborn, stays at home, mom and son has to go hunting. And one day, an unheard of thing happened. People started blowing up Papa Troll Mountain. One guy who was burning wood for coal near the mountain decided that there was copper ore in the mountain. He called other guys and they began to drill the mountain. When the first explosion thundered, Papa Troll was so enraged that he himself burst into small pieces, which immediately turned into a pile of stones and brushwood. The troll mother and her son were left alone and homeless, because they could not stay in the mountain cave, since people planned to blow it up. "Let's go, mother, to the distant dense forest," suggested the son. But the troll didn't want to hear about it. She had her own ideas. Mama Troll it is. She had been harboring a dream for a long time, but she did not dare to hint about it to the troll dad. The more she sniffed the delicious smell of coffee and the aroma of delicious pork, the longer she looked at the windows of houses, the stronger her desire to live like people overcame her. And gradually, a plan matured in her troll brain. Half a mile from the big mountain, on the shore of the forest lake, there was an abandoned hut. No one has lived there for 6 years, since the old man it's owned died. That's where the troll, Mama Troll, decided to move with Jule. Jule, it's her son. They say they will tie their tails properly and put on human clothes, and she had accumulated a whole bunch of such clothes. Loitering in the dark near houses, she dragged it slowly from the people, so people were drying their laundries outside and Mama Troll was stealing the clothes from them. And she had accumulated a whole bunch of those clothes this way. And the best part of that, she will now make coffee and roast delicious pork. Well, just like people. But first they would have to get the shiny roundels that people call money, and the troll knew how to do it. The miles north of the village of Stony Mountain, I guess, there lived a woman who earned for herself and the children by washing people's clothes. The troll woman spent hours, Mama Troll it is, spent hours sneaking out of the window of the kitchen where this woman was washing, and now she knew exactly how to do it. She also saw how a woman from the farm received such roundels for washing and then sent the children to the shop to exchange them for coffee, flour, and pork. The troll's eyes were sharp. She also looked into the shop. She saw how to behave there. It will be much more convenient to wash in a large troll boiler, and if you pour a pinch of troll powder into it, the laundry will become whiter than snow, so no need to work. No wonder she was born a troll. Oh, how well they will live now they will no longer to sit in a troll mountain and gnaw a skinny rabbit's paw. The son of a troll is not used to thinking about everything at once. His mother's plan surprised him so much that he clutched his hat with both paws, not knowing what to do. But in the end, the desire to eat fried pork won and drove away all the doubts. Priorities. And in the evening, the troll woman and her son came out of their mountain. They put the troll cauldron on the pole to make it easier to carry on, put bundles with other belongings on their backs, and went to the hut on the shore of the lake to live like real people. The next day at dusk, someone knocked on the kitchen window in the pastor's yard, and an old, scary-looking woman stepped on the threshold. She pulled her handkerchief down to her eyebrows and hid her hands under her apron. She stopped in the door and bowed. "I'm a poor woman," she said plaintively. "I live with my son in a forest hut. We have nothing to eat. Won't you let me to do the laundry, dear lady?" It happened that at that time there was a lot of trouble in the pastor's yard. Guests were waiting from afar. It was necessary to clean up the house, brew beer, roast and bake, and the pastor's wife simply didn't know how to cope with the big laundry this week. It was immediately decided that the poor woman who needed to earn money would wash the laundry from the pastor's estate, and that the pastor's wife herself would set a fee when she received the laundry and looked to see if it was well washed and torn. Then the troll, not feeling her feet under her with joy, returned home, and the next morning, before it was light, before the sunrise, I guess, she brought her son to the pastor's estate with the washed clothes on an old cart, which they found in a shed near the old man's house. Thanks to the troll powder, remember, troll powder, the washing was a success, and the pastor was very surprised to receive all her underwear so quickly, snow white and dry. I think here underwear is actually like bed sheets and stuff. Again, I was translating it just through Google Translate, through from Russian to English, and we have the same word for bedspreads, bed sheets, bed linen, and underwear. So it's a little bit of a hiccup of translation. Such a laundress was just a godsend, and how cheap she charged for washing! The hostess herself set the price, and the woman did not know how to count, and was apparently glad to death of any money. The pastor's wife told about such a profitable laundress to the Landsmann. I'm not sure what is it. It just basically means the pastor's wife told other women in the village about the Mama Troll. Well, they did not know that she's Mama Troll, about this old lady who's offering very cheap laundry. And soon Mama Troll had no end of orders. Funny days have come for trolls. The days full of joy, I guess we would say. The coffee pot stood on the fire for days, and pork sizzled in a pan. And the troll didn't have to bother much. It was only necessary to pour water in the boiler, throw powder into it, and make a fire. And it was only it was immediately wrung out and hung up to dry. The troll didn't even have to rinse it. If the weather was not suitable for drying, the troll woman waved her troll apron once or twice, which she had left from the good old days, among of the few other things, and the warm wind rose out of nowhere, and after a few hours the laundry became dry. They got so rich that they got a horse and a cart to carry laundry, and the drooly bought himself a green tie with red speckles, so Christmassy. It so happened that the king ordered to build a palace in the forest, so that the queen, who was in a poor health, could breathe the beautiful forest air. And as summer came, the queen settled in with a baby princess who was only a few months old. One fine day, the pastor's wife was visited by the chamberlain, and the hostess started talking about the old woman and her son, saying that they were ugly, unsociable, ridiculously afraid of dogs, but they washed quickly and so well and cheaply that now there was no need to start washing at home at all. The chamberlain was very interested in the words of the pastor's wife because she ran the whole household of the king, for which she was given money for the whole year, and of course she wanted to save as much of it as possible for herself. And when the pastor's wife assured her that this amazing laundress could be trusted with the best, thinnest linen, and she would not tear it or spoil it, the chamberlain graciously declared that she, too, agreed to let the poor woman earn. So, here is the story. Our Mama Troll is a successful businesswoman now, business troll. And even the king is going to be her client.